Okay. I need to set some parameters here, because I am not implying in any way that you do what you just said. I don't think that parents should give children money willy-nilly. I think that the money should be accountable for, that there should be some form of accountability. And I think for the little children it needs to be cash, because they don't understand the value of money. They will assume that a coin is more than a dollar bill. They'll assume that a nickel is more than a dime because it's larger. So part of teaching them the value of money is actually putting it in their hands. When they get older, then, I really like this idea of teaching kids to manage a debit card, because we forget, even as adults, it's easy to assume that a debit card means you just have money to you spend it till it's gone.
That's right.
And it's less accountable than if you actually have it in your hand. So I don't believe in giving children money without accountability. There needs to be accountability. The whole purpose you would give an allowance is so a child can learn the value and the non-value of money. And, in regards to making sure that it's not more important to them than it should be. I also think that if you have a child that is constantly saying, "Give me, Mommy, give me, Mommy, please buy me, buy me," then this is a time that allowance comes into effect, and you say, "No, if you want to buy that, you save your allowance, and you spend this portion of your money is free for you to spend as you want to." This teaches a child to save, and it makes them not a lover of money, but a lover of stewardship. And I think that that's extremely important. That's a very, very important thing that we need to teach our children, especially in these days that we're living in now, when everything is devalued so greatly. And our children need to understand that money has its place and its function, but it is not the end all. So.
Wow. That
I astounded you again?
Yeah, those were some good comments, Candy.
Why are you so surprised?
I might have to rethink my position, but I think we have a caller that I want to get in before our show runs out.
Okay. Courtney is calling us with a comment. Courtney?
Hi.
Hi. You have a comment for us today?
Yeah. I don't get an allowance.
You don't get an allowance?
My mom and dad are listening because I want them to give me one.
Good for you. Well, we'll make sure that you take a recording of this. So what kind of an allowance do you think how old are you?
11.
11. So
Almost.
how if they were to give you an allowance, how much do you think you should get?
$20 a month.
$20 a month.
What would you do with that money, Courtney?
I'm saving up to get a monkey overseas.
A monkey?
Yeah.
Well, that's how much? Do you know how much a monkey costs?
No.
Courtney, do you have any money right now?
I got $45.
$45. And how did you get that money?
I do extra chores around my homeschool.
Okay, so your homeschool. Who teaches you homeschool?
What?
Who's doing your homeschooling?
My aunt and my grandpa.
And they give you money?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So you have some money.
Mhm.
But you'd like to have that. You'd like to have that amount that each month you could count on that it would be coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't blame you. That's a good point. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for calling in, and we'll hope your parents are listening so that they can know they need to give you an allowance. But I'm proud of you for saving your money. You're learning the value of money, and that's wonderful, honey. Thank you so much for calling in.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye. Yes, well, that is a good point. There are some families that just don't have one penny to spare.
Yeah. But that's when I was saying that it doesn't have to be money. What if you had a jar of beans? And
I'd love some beans as a kid. Yeah, give me some beans.
Think about it. Use it as a currency. Use it as a currency, but have things that they can get. Maybe if they collect 10 beans, then they get to watch an extra 30 minutes of acceptable television. Or maybe if they collect so many beans, use it as a currency. Kathy called in, was it last week or the week before, and talked about the bartering system, the auction that she has. Now, that's not with real money, I don't think. I think she said they used something else as a currency. So there are things that we can do to still teach our children the value of having currency, and without it having to be $10 a week or $1 a week or whatever.
I have to take my hat off to you, Candy, because I think you as a parent and you as the person you are could probably pull off giving beans to kids. And they would be thrilled to get a bean from Candy. I mean, you are the only one that could do this.
This is not true.
Well, I'll never know, but I can imagine. I can just imagine. Here, kids, you've earned 5 beans today. Oh, goody. I can just imagine. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Pick a question.
Okay. It says here, if you give your child allowance, what should you expect them to do with it? And I get to answer this one first. You should absolutely expect them to do with it whatever they want to do with it. And I think this should even include paying tithe. So there, I've said it. I don't need a minute to say it. That's what I think. So do you have any response to that?
I'm speechless.
You can't be speechless.
I'm on the radio. You can't be speechless.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
Well, I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, no, we're done. I think children should be taught to be responsible, but they should have some money that's discretionary for them to spend however they want. Well, I can't believe we're done. And we'll be back next week, 11 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on Life Talk Radio. Of course, you can always download the podcast. Welcome again to our new listeners, and check us out, lifetalk.net on Facebook. And we are just having to go. So I guess Rose and I only have one more thing to say. Pay your kids' allowance, and God bless.